Recording in progress. Okay, can you see me? Start video.
No, I just see your name. There you go. Now I see you. Looking great. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal today.
Phenomenal. Today or just in general?
Mostly in general. Today, as far as days go, hasn't been the best, but in general.
Talk to me, man. What's going on? Why are you doing so phenomenally?
I don't know. I think I'm nerves and in a good way are high. We're preparing for our move. So I'm getting excited about that. It's obviously nerve-wracking at the same time in a negative way because lots of variables that are unpredictable. But had a very good lift the past few days. I've been editing for a YouTuber recently, and that's been going well. Overall, just like feel a bit in tune with my goals.
You're moving to LA, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. In mid,
Just to see me.
obviously.
Only
Why
reason.
Why else?
Well, what? No, seriously. Why else? What's in LA?
Mostly my girlfriend's going to be going to law school at UCLA.
Oh my God! Congratulations.
I know.
That's freaking good for you. No, but good for him.
I'm gonna be a trophy husband. She's doing. Also, I don't want to be in Indiana anymore. I mean, I've been in Indiana my whole life. On our road trip that we just took, I really liked it out there. It felt a bit more fast paced, more people that are kind of doing the same thing that I'm interested in, same kind of things I'm interested in, you know what I mean? Videography and stuff and recording content is pretty much non-existent here.
Yeah.
My parents thought I was famous whenever I got 4,000 views. So it's really hard to be in the mindset of, okay, let's be creative. Let's make content for people, or let's even build a career online. That's weird here, I feel like. So I think being around like-minded people, obviously her law school, I don't have to deal with winter anymore, which means I can drive my Mustang year round. Pretty, yeah, lots of different things.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but
it's a good spot to be, I feel like, especially when we're young, because I mean, it's just, you're right, it's a totally different mindset. It's a mindset of getting shit done. Everyone's doing something, everyone's got their phone out filming. If you're into that type of thing or influencing, which you obviously are, it's that's what it's like the difference is your parents thought you were famous when you got 4,000 views. My post I just made got 40,000, and the first thing my dad said is, yeah, but how many likes did it get? And I was like, all right, yeah, exactly. It's keeping me going. It's keeping me, but that's the type of energy out here. But where I'm at, in Newport Beach, it's much more like where the older people go to retire. And so
over there.
Yeah, you were. So it's nice and I love it, but I want to be up at LA too. So once I graduate, that's where I'm headed.
When do you?
This year. Last year, right? I'm looking forward to it, man. Finally getting out of there.
So here's in the next school year, so next May.
Yes. I'm a senior this year, so gonna get it done. I know. I'm the big man on campus, man.
That's what I like.
With this killer podcast, right? Just so people can. I started Homeroom because I want to ask those kind of dumb questions to some people. To you, it would probably sound dumb, but to people like me and other people out there in the world that have no idea who you are or what you do, what does a TikToker do in a day? What do you do?
For me personally, so since I'm in the fitness industry, what I do pretty much every day is, or every other day at least, I'll wake up. First thing I do is go to the gym. So either during my workout or right after my workout while I'm still at the gym, I'll record a video. The video usually doesn't take too long to record because I'll have an idea in my head already. I'll kind of think about it on my way to the gym. I might look at comments the night before. Whatever idea I have a list of them sometimes. I'll record a video at the gym. I take bit longer at the gym, so I spend probably too much time there.
But it's your job, right?
I come home, I'll eat, and then I will be productive for the day. So whatever that means, I might be doing, say, I might be editing a video. Editing a video might take 3 hours or something, depending on the content. Like if it's a super quick video, it might take an hour. Because what I do is I'll find the footage that I want to use. As I'm editing the footage, I'll be talking over it in a way that I think would sound okay. And then I'll edit the entire video, and then at the very end, I'll do a voiceover. And then basically I'll just make a draft for the next day to upload at 9 to 11 a.m. That's optimal for me. That's in an optimal world. That doesn't always happen. After that, right now I'm working on getting certified to be a personal trainer, just so that whenever I start online coaching, people feel like they can trust me a bit more. It's more for them than it is for me. So I might work on that for a few hours. Like I said, I'm editing for someone else too, so I might edit their videos. Right now, I'm not making a lot of money off of it, so there is a lot more free time. But most of the time, I'm trying to record or edit content. I might be trying to learn something new on Premiere Pro. I'm wanting to try right now is dip into After Effects a bit. I might have talked to you about that a bit last time. It's just another program that Adobe has that allows you to do a bit more customizable animation. So right now it's just building my skills, because once I get out to LA, my day might shift a bit and I might be editing more and recording more. So I'd say typical day in the life for me is mostly wake up, work out, record a video, edit the video, do whatever else I need to be productive to either build my skills or spend time with those around me, since I am about to dip across the country. Pretty good life, right?
Yeah. Your job, or what you're doing, is content creation, right? You're creating content. Do you ever get nervous or scared that in the long-term goal, you'll run out of ideas or you'll run out of things to do?
Yes and no. My main concern with it is getting bored of it. I don't have an issue with repeating content. I did it first, but recently I'd been listening to a podcast with it was actually More Plates, More Dates, and someone else on it. It was like the first time I'd listened to him. I've only listened to that one episode, so I don't know. But they were talking about the repetitiveness of some of the content. People request the same kind of videos that you've already made. Like, hey, have you made a video on this? And they could search it up, but they don't. So what More Plates, More Dates said, what Derek said, he said that most of the time, the majority of people haven't seen your old content. So it's not so much that you're just teaching the same thing to the same people. You're teaching it to the new followers, and you're kind of reiterating important points for the existing followers, which I do think is important. So I'm training someone in the gym right now, my girlfriend's brother, and I'm not constantly, like I let him feel out an exercise, but I'll reiterate certain points. It's not like I tell him it once, then he's a master at it. So I think the same thing kind of goes for content online. Sure, there might reach a point where it becomes a bit repetitive, but I don't think it'll be from the stance that the audience isn't liking it or I'll run out of ideas. I think it's just that I might get bored of it. There's a plethora, an unlimited number of ideas in my head.
Okay.
Funny, educational. There's so many different twists. I could edit the same video 100 different ways, and it's a completely unique video.
So is your target audience not your subscribers or your followers? The target audience is the mass population. Like, who is your audience?
Well, I'd say my audience, it's like it is your
audience to be. Sorry, who are you trying to hit?
What I'm trying to hit is people in the gym, I'd say between 0 and 3 years of working out, that have never looked into this stuff before and don't know how to set up a training plan, how to eat in an okay way, how to logically train. right now, that might shift. It might shift as I become more advanced in my own training. I might go on to coaching athletes. I don't know. But right now, I have the experience to teach that audience. And so it's not like the 19,000 or 90,000, whichever platform I'm on, are the only people that fit that criteria. So yeah, I am shooting to please them. And if they have a video request, I might make that. But I'm also trying to teach as if anyone could see the content, you know?
Yeah.
Sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I use the fitness industry and that whole world as an example for all nooks and niches, right? Like on the surface level, before you started diving down that rabbit hole into the fitness industry, it seems really simple, right? But also really complicated. Like you look at it and you go, it's so hard to lose weight and lose and gain weight. There's all these things, and then you find a video and you're like, oh, it's pretty easy. But then you watch a year's worth of videos and you go, holy shit, there's so much in here, and there's so much. I don't know what's real, what's not, what actually works. Is it just calories in, calories out? Well, I tried that and it didn't work for me. So can I just eat Rice Krispies? I'm so confused. Should I do CrossFit, body? It's so complicated, but so simple at the same time, that we need people to be a voice of reason. Yeah. But Andrew, how do people know to listen to you and what you're saying versus what the thousands of other people in the industry are saying that's different and it doesn't actually make sense?
I think it's partly up to them to figure out. And what I mean by that is I've made a couple of videos now talking about other people in the fitness industry that might have good content for them to look at. And I always start off the video by saying, don't just listen to me. So yeah, I don't want them to only take my word as fact. I'm a human being. I can be wrong.
Yeah.
What I want them to do is watch my video. Okay. If they think it's useful, great. Watch someone else's video on the same topic and make an educated decision. About who to trust, it's hard to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anecdotal evidence, there's scientific evidence, there's just life experience. There's so many different things. You'll see people say, I mean, what was it? Jay Cutler saying, yeah, I don't bench press, I prefer dumbbells. And other people swear by like the barbell bench press. It's so nuanced.
Yeah.
There is one 100% correct answer. For me, I just tried to provide a reasonable take to both sides. Meaning, so there's a big discussion on the TikTok and Instagram community right now if form matters at all. It's like, well, form doesn't cause injury, it's improper load management. And so I think that leaves a lot of people wondering, well, why the fuck does form matter? Ultimately, form does matter, regardless of the reason. So say it is improper load management, okay? Well, proper form will allow for better efficiency during your movements. It would allow for repeatability during the movements. It'll also make sure that you're working the muscles that you want to, like the muscles that you want to build. So regardless if you're going to get hurt or not, there are other reasons to practice proper form. So there is a lot of debate in the scientific community, and there are so many different accounts. Like Squat University says, don't squat this way, it'll hurt your knees. There are other people like trainers, Joe Stanek, it's like Bingless Trains or something like that. They're saying there's not a lot of evidence to support that it's actually the way you're moving. It's that you aren't being consistent with the way that you move. Regardless, find what works for you, find a good form and stick with it. I don't know, I feel like asking who to trust and why this is wrong or that's right is such a hard thing and so situational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might not always be right. That's why I don't want them to just only listen to me. I can make a mistake. And if you only listen to me and take me as a fucking god of fitness, then that's very close-minded. You know, the entire scientific principle of research and proving things is repeatability, and being peer reviewed. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just one person's opinion or one person's point of view. That's why, I don't know. I don't want to say just listen to me.
Mhm.
I think they should listen to me, listen to someone else, and make an educated decision themselves. That was
So
a winded answer. I apologize.
no, don't apologize at all. That makes a lot. People need to hear that. You need to hear that. I need to hear that sometimes, that you can't just listen to one or two people. You do need to experience and hear the methods and the methodology of all sorts of different people and what everyone's doing before you make a decision that this is what I want to pursue. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that applies just to the fitness industry. I think that applies with any form of information that you're ingesting into yourself. What I want to oh, sorry, go ahead.
It for sure does. Like, no matter what you're in, nobody's going to be right about everything. Take Athlete X. Athlete X has some good information, but he also has some information that's questionable and that might be wrong in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Nippert has some really good information, and some people disagree with him about certain things. Like, it's with all different opinions, all different experiences, no two people are going to agree on literally everything. That's why you got to see what works for you, and you got to make your own educated guess. What I recommend most people do, if they don't want to actually go and do full-blown research and read articles, is find 3 or 4 first. If you pick a topic that you're interested in like whatever industry it might be, find 4 or 5 people, just look at their differing opinions and see who's making the most sense, who it seems that is based in science and factual evidence, and choose 3 or 4 creators that are like them that you trust, and just cross-reference the information between them. You know, you don't have to. The casual gym goer does not need to be reading research papers. Like, in my opinion, that's ridiculous and it's a waste of time if you're really just training to be healthy and it's not at the forefront of everything. So in that case, they might say, oh, I like Sean Elawani, I like Renaissance Periodization, and I like Johnny Sharif. Just as an example. I'm not saying that those are the best creators or those are better than others. I'm just saying for an example. Okay, well, if a topic comes up in fitness, search their 3 names and what they have to say about it. If you trust their opinion and you feel like that they're providing factual info and you've cross-referenced it at least to some degree with the differing opinion, you can probably get away with what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not always the case. There's always going to be, well, what if they're all 3 lying about the exact same thing? Maybe, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The most popular sales pitch is saying whatever you're saying as if it's fact and saying it with confidence, which gets people to think that it must be true. And so we have all these voices in the world saying things like they are fact and convincing everyone that they are fact, but everyone is saying all different things. There's so much noise out there. And I feel like what I'm trying to do with this show is to take a couple of people that watch this and have them go, all right, well, instead of just adding to that noise, maybe I could just listen for a little. Maybe we could just listen and try to hear everyone's voice. And like you said, figure out the ones we want to keep listening to, we feel like makes sense, and follow those people. We don't need to listen to everybody. There's no need to do that, right?
Yeah, no.
We need to hear everyone. We need to try to listen to everybody, but we don't need to continue to follow and hear everyone. You know what I mean?
No, completely. And I think that's true. Like, at the beginning, whenever you're first starting, I do think it's important to look at different creators and find out which ones are bullshitting you. And they'll be apparent because 100 people will be shitting on them. 100 different YouTubers will be like, this is BS. There's no evidence to support this. You know what I'm saying? It just takes a little bit more research at the beginning. But after that, in general, you don't need to listen to everyone at the same time. But I think even more important than that, you can't just listen to one person. I think you got to listen to a few people at least. One point of view is not going to be the right point of view.
Mm-mm. That's what we get into with on a grander spectrum. I feel like a great point you said is the average gym goer, they don't have time, or they shouldn't be researching all these research papers, right? And I feel like that's a problem we run in with, not to venture down this controversial path, but that's an issue we get into with politics. Is the average person doesn't have the time of day to read through every single article and look at every single thing they hear. They heard a rumor on the news channel that Tulsi Gabbard was a spy for the Russians. Well, okay, then I'm not going to vote for her. Well, okay, but they don't have the time to go through. This is why reliable information can't just come from one news channel. It can't just come from one influencer. It can't just come from your favorite book. It's like, that's why I feel like people argue with each other over religions, because they read one religion and this is gospel. Let's try to experience everything and try to understand. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way to understand another person if you close your mind off about those other possibilities.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think even topics like religion and politics become even more convoluted because, like in the fitness industry, for example, if someone's saying the wrong info, more than likely, it's just them or maybe two other people that agree with them. With religion and politics, it's obviously a lot more complicated. Going to be many news channels or many people that agree with both sides. And in that case, like for topics like that, I think, in my opinion, you should watch both and come to your own conclusion. I think that's a difficult situation to approach, right? Because you want someone that's unbiased. So if you're looking for an individual place or a couple individual places that provide information, I would choose one that's going to shit on both sides or shit on both religions. You know what I'm saying? Because then they're taking it from a perspective of this person's right sometimes, this person's wrong sometimes. I don't know. It's just, I feel like we've definitely, as humans in today's society, we have this very herd mentality of, oh, whatever this person says or whatever this book says or this website says or this news channel says is right, which isn't all
right. I feel like it's not about finding and thinking everything everyone says is right. It's just about understanding why someone else would believe that other thing. So you can empathize, you can understand where they're coming from. And I feel like that would eliminate a lot of the issues. I don't feel like I don't think religion and politics should be controversial things to talk about. I don't think they should be. I think people should be able to have rational conversations with each other about everything. There should be no off-limits things. That's a problem with communication. People need to talk to each other more. We all need to just start talking to each other more before judging each other. You know what I mean?
I agree. But I think what you run into is many people don't have that empathetic standpoint. They can't, like, I don't know. I was listening to a bunch of different conversations about this, and I feel like there are people who are going to be more empathetic given their life experiences. So, for example, my brother suffers from clinical depression and some other things that have really made me feel for other people and relate to their perspective more. Someone else who has never had those experiences may not even have the ability or know how to relate to someone else. So sometimes I feel like it's hard to have these conversations because it's not that they would be unwilling if they were able to, but they legitimately aren't able to relate to you. You can kind of see this. Some people are more emotional than others. And I feel like those who are usually more emotional are able to relate to other people more just because they know about their own emotions. They know what it feels like, and they're more likely to empathize or understand feelings. And I feel like ultimately there are two major categories of people. If we're going to clump them, obviously there's a bunch of nuance there. And there's empathetic people who might not always be the most efficient when coming to conclusions, but they're less likely to hurt someone else in the process. And then there's more pragmatic people who might be more efficient at coming to a solution, but they're going to hurt people in the process. So it comes down to how do you get a conversation going between two completely different types of people? And that's difficult.
Do you not feel, though, that if one of those pragmatic people sat down with another one with conflicting views, and just by looking at I'm not saying all of them, some of them are very stubborn, and I'm sure there's a large group that would never get to any conclusion at all. But don't you think there's or maybe you don't, I'm not trying to put words in to force you to think my way I think, but do you think that a lot of them, just by looking at each other and recognizing each other as human beings, as other people, and hearing some of their backstory and where they come from, might be able to start to understand why there is why there is different?
Maybe, but it really depends on the person and their openness. Like, I have family members who, they're not necessarily family members, maybe friends that don't understand what I'm doing or don't understand like my personal situations. So when talking to them or explaining it, they aren't open to the change of ideas. Like, I have definitely people in my family who are not my family, but like in my network. I have a very small family, so they're not my family, but like in my network of people that don't understand what I'm doing as a career right now, and trying to explain it to them seems illogical to them. And therefore they just shut down the idea of, oh, well, you should get a job in this or that. Because to them, it's not a reality to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like, so a perfect example, bullying in school. Some people didn't experience bullying in school. Some people did.
Yes.
My brother had people come up to him, tell him to kill himself to his face. That didn't happen for me. That didn't happen to a lot of other people. And me explaining that to someone seems like almost illogical. Like, they don't think bullying or topics like that actually exist. It's more of it's like whenever you watch an anti-bullying commercial, and if you haven't been bullied in high school and you're sitting there like, oh, this seems, sorry, someone's opening the door. Oh, it's my girlfriend.
What's up?
Say hi, Chloe.
Hey, Emmett.
How's it going?
Pretty swell. How about you?
Good. We're getting like really philosophical on this one. We're way past the fitness world. We're talking about all sorts of things. It's great. You should come on sometime.
That sounds fun. Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't apologize. You're fine.
All right, I'll see you.
Have fun at work. So when you look at the topic of bullying, for example, right? Just transition right back into it.
Don't even just right through. Got it. Done.
If you're watching an anti-bullying commercial in high school and you haven't been, you almost laugh at it. I'd seen people laugh in my class whenever the things were playing, and I didn't because I had a brother who was being bullied. But it doesn't seem real to them. It's not a reality. They didn't experience it. No one around them that they connected with as friends were experiencing it. So trying to explain what psychological issues that causes a person, they're not very receptive to it. I have people who weren't bullied in high school and have a very like pull yourself up from your bootstraps mentality. And the topic of mental health to them, for example, appears as laziness. They can't comprehend depression and anxiety because they don't know anyone personally that's majorly affected by it. So I feel like trying to get a conversation between, say, even two pragmatic, stubborn people, it really depends. If they're both very, very stubborn and they both haven't experienced anything that the other person has experienced, it just comes out as fucking words to them. Like they don't care, you know? Like I could say anything.
Yeah.
Anything. They might just be like, eh. It depends. I don't know. I think it really depends on the person. So
How would you go about? I mean, because we can't just accept. We can all accept that we're different, right? We can accept that we're different and we have different views. I 100% agree with that. But we can't just live in a world of hating each other. You know what I mean? Like that's no way to communicate. How do we communicate with each other if it's not through empathy and it's not through understanding what we all go through? Because we're never gonna. You're right. I think you're 100% right. I'm never gonna understand what another person's head is like. My only goal is to try to learn as much as I can about it. How do you? Yeah.
So the kind of person you are.
Right.
Some people don't give a shit, you know?
So what do we do with those people? How do we move past that?
Sometimes there's going to be people that you can't talk to, but I encourage everyone to still try. Because so what I think you need to do in that situation is I think everyone has a level of empathy. Maybe not. There are fucking serial killers. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Try down a serial killer and tell them why it's wrong, why bullying is wrong, or why this or that is wrong. They kill people. Their level of empathy is clearly not anywhere near yours, you know? So like, I feel like you got to try and tap into a person's empathetic side. And maybe that comes through being close to them. If you're close to someone and they have respect for you, they might be more receptive. And sometimes it just takes a rephrasing or a reframing. For example, certain conversations between my family, like my parents and my brother versus me and my brother. My parents could be saying the exact same thing to my brother that I'm saying, and 10 out of 10 times is going to understand it, digest it, and be way more receptive to it from me. Whether that's my relationship with him or the way that I'm saying it, he's going to be more receptive to the information. So have the conversations with people. Maybe you'll get through to them. Maybe try and explain it in a different way. And if you can't, have someone else talk to them, someone they relate to and empathize with more. I'd assume that part of the conversation between me and my brother and why it's so productive is because he relates to me more. He empathizes with me more. Obviously, he grew up at the same time as me. Me explaining something to him is less parental and more friendly. There are a whole bunch of different factors there. Have the conversations with people. Try and word it in a different way. And if that doesn't work, maybe get someone else that relates to them more or they already like. Try and have the conversation with them, you know? Mm-hmm. Yes, you should have the conversation. And it would be phenomenal if everyone could understand each other and at least be respectful. There's going to be people who aren't. What we do about it is we try, in my opinion. We just try.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of, I don't want to say negative pushback, but I'm sure, like you said, there's members of your friend network group or network, right, that don't understand what you're doing, don't agree with what you're doing. And some people would easily be like, oh, well, okay, that's right. Maybe it is stupid and I'll go get a job at the factory making spoons. But you don't. You keep going down this path. Why?
For me, I know what I like right now. I might change, but someone else's opinion about what I should be doing or how I should be living. And maybe this is stubbornness, you know? If I was super empathetic, maybe I'd be like, oh, well, no, I don't want to do this and I'll listen to what you say. But I know what I want. I'm trying to be a good way. I'm going to take what they say in my head and be, okay, well, let's weigh the pros and cons of it. The pros for me outweigh the cons. I would much rather right now be doing what I'm doing than being at a university doing research. It's just what I enjoy more. I ultimately want to enjoy the life that I'm living because one day it's going to end. And I would hate to be like, oh, what if, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm understanding their perspective. The empathetic side of me is like, okay, well, they were raised this way. They hold these values dear. Mm-hmm. I hold these values dear. I'm understanding the differences I'm not disregarding the differences. I'm understanding the differences. And if it applies to me, what they're saying, great. If it doesn't apply to me, okay. It's like whenever if you've ever, I don't know if they teach you this in high school, but in college or university, whenever you're talking about studying abroad or taking foreign classes, one thing that they talk about is to not disregard things like race or culture, but to acknowledge the differences and appreciate the differences and have a discussion about it. And that's how I approach most of my relationships in any manner. Yeah. I'm acknowledging their different point of view. I'm reasoning with myself why they're saying these things. If it applies to me, then yeah, I'll for sure change what I'm doing, because if I really think that it'll benefit me, then yeah. So I don't know. I am doing what I'm doing because I like it. Yeah. It makes me, and I'm not hurting anyone.
Again, I feel that everyone should be different and should embrace their differences. My only point was that I just think through listening to someone else and really listening, like actually trying to care, opening up your ears and trying to care. Yeah. Your best shot there. I feel that you're not going to get your mind changed, but it might give you a little bit more perspective and be able to respect the fact that you're different, acknowledge it and respect it just through listening, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have a phenomenal voice. You're very articulate and you can communicate. You can communicate. I wouldn't swipe left if this was you can communicate these thoughts very well. Do you ever feel like you'd want to promote this type of talk to your audience?
Yeah. Ultimately it comes down to what I enjoy most. So I do hold what I'm saying very dear to me. And I think me being articulate about my feelings and at least understanding them and being able to discuss them is important. And I do think it would be interesting to make content revolving around that or promoting this to my audience. I'm just not sure if right now that's what I want to do, or yeah, I'd say that's what it comes down to, because I think I know how I would do it. I mean, I would do it exactly how I'm explaining it to you.
Yeah.
Right now I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I would like to maybe see how things go moving forward. I've already discussed with you in the past about how there's certain types of content that I want to make and I don't know how.
Yeah.
And already I'm experiencing a bit of a transition, becoming more open with my own personality and showing bits of it. I made a video about my girlfriend the other day that I thought was hilarious, and it was educational at the same time. And I was nervous about how it would go, and it did very well. So maybe as I go forward, things like that will be more at the forefront of my content, whether that be through a different account that I make or my current account. But right now, I'm enjoying the content and the message that I'm sending. I feel like it's easier right now for me to do than to try and build a platform around this, like what I'm saying. So maybe in the future that'll change and I'll have it figured out, and maybe that's what I want to do. But right now I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I do think I want to promote this message to people, and I try to some degree. Even in the fitness industry, I'll say things like the Fitness Friends videos. I think that's a good example of showing, don't just listen to me, check out these other accounts. You might find that they're more entertaining than me, or more informative than me, or just the different perspectives allow you to kind of understand different points of views. Obviously, fitness isn't as emotionally and socially involved as the conversation about bullying or mental health or anything like that. But my philosophy there is the same. So I think, yeah, maybe in the future, more content and more things that I say to my audience will be around being emotionally and socially aware. But as of right now, I'm enjoying keeping it a bit more lighthearted.
Because I was talking to this girl the other day, and yeah, I know. I was talking to this girl the
You?
other day. Look at me. No, I'm just kidding. And I was thinking about how if I had just looked at her Instagram and never talked to her before, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I have no idea who this person is. They're just one word captions and pictures, snapshots, and your Instagram is much more deep than that, right? Because you are talking about fitness and we hear your voice and that type of thing. But I don't get this. You know what I mean? I don't hear you when I hear that. I hear this is very educational, this is very informative, and I can see this being an outlet people go to. But I don't know. I want to see, I know we've talked about this before, but I can't emphasize it enough. I want to see more you. Like that's why my favorite fitness influencer is Johnny Shreve. I love that guy. I've been following him since he had like 2,000 followers, and it's just he's so him. He's just so. I've had a phone call insult with him, and that's just who he is. It's exactly who he is. And I feel like if you're able to channel a little bit more of this into, I don't know how. We'd have to think about that, but somehow,
That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to do that with my audience slowly but surely. And maybe it's just something that I'm nervous about because I've never done it before. I've never created a platform and been perceived and like by that many people before. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it's nervousness about performance, which is a negative thing. Like that's just a negative thing that I think comes with posting videos, and it requires a reframing of perspective of, in reality, if the video does shit, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It comes down to reframing that in my mind. So since the last time that we spoke, there was a period of time where I was posting every single day and it was giving me fucking anxiety. I was not liking what I was doing, and had a conversation about my girlfriend and my brother about not posting every day. It's something fun to do. Yes, it can make me money. There are other ways that I'm making money right now. It's something fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not posting every single day right now, but in doing that, it's removed a ton of pressure. Even though I'm posting less, I'm getting less views in total. It's allowing me to remove the pressure of performance from it, and doing things like I did the other day where I made the video with my girlfriend. I had an idea for the intro of the video about like showing different shots of her as if she was suiting up like Batman and being funny with it. And I did, and it did well. That was positive reinforcement in my head. And I am trying to show more of myself in my videos. So that's mostly come through my stories right now, where I'll talk about Marvel. Like I made a post a while back about what's your favorite superhero, and I was explaining mine. That's just a little tiny bit of me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working on getting more. I've been thinking a lot about posting on YouTube and doing more of me for that. So it all comes down to, when am I gonna take that leap, and when am I gonna be more comfortable? I think for me, it was building a framework of or building a groundwork of, okay, this is educational fitness content. People are following me, they're liking me, they're interacting with it. Now I can sprinkle more of myself in there. And something that I'm slowly becoming better at. I'm just a slow here, I guess. I don't know.
No.
I would like.
No, I think you're right. I think you're doing the right thing. Totally. I mean, obviously you've got way more followers than me, but
That doesn't.
I started when I rebranded everything, right? When I deleted my whole Instagram and I came back with Homeroom, the whole goal was to have everything connected. And it kind of stressed me out a bit because I was like, do I need to be posting every single day? Am I going to lose sight on what I'm actually supposed to be doing, which is acting? Because I work 5 days a week and I work a lot, like an actual job. And then I have the acting that I need to be focusing on every single day so I can get better at that. That's my real passion. I never get bored or sick of that. But then I'm also having this other thing. Is it not going to be fun anymore? And I figured the way to have it all connect for me was that the Homeroom podcast isn't what you see on Instagram. Like, I'm not just posting clips of the podcast on my Instagram and being like, go check out the podcast. I might drop a story every week when it comes out, but the Homeroom podcast is the Homeroom podcast. The Instagram is just me trying shit. It's me being a kid and just doing whatever the fuck I want. Like, and that connects perfectly with the whole mantra of homeroom. The ice cream review connects because it's me. It's just me being me, eating ice cream, going, this shit slaps. And I made it myself. So stick a honey bun in freaking coconut ice cream. It tastes bomb. Try it. Like, it's just, it all connects in its own way. And I feel like for you, this is just my opinion. So don't take it with like 4 tablespoons of salt. Okay.
That's a lot of grains.
It's a lot of grains, man. You got to take what I say with a lot of grains. Your TikTok and your Instagram is similar. It's just that short, fast-paced hook you in. Kind of like my Instagram is that just hooks you in with the rant. I make a rap, I make a poem, I make a monologue, I make a freaking me lifting a barbell with some music in the background. I do all sorts of shit, and that hooks you in. And maybe you go check out Homeroom. If you really want to learn more about me and see me in a longer format. I feel like that same thing for you. Those short-paced things you do, not short-paced, fast-paced things you do on Instagram and TikTok, that hooks you in. You're like, oh, this is cool. But I kind of want to learn more about this Andrew guy. Maybe I'll click the link in his bio, and that takes it to you doing something like Anthony Manatello does on his videos, or like a Brandon Harding does. Like your life. You know, I want to see that. I want to see it, not in a creepy stalker way, but I want to see your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of the perspective that I was taking with my idea for the YouTube. Like, I have the YouTube account set up. I am going to post my shorts on there just as more lateral expansion, but I also do want to create longer videos. I was thinking to make it more like me. I don't want to vlog all day, every day, because in my head, if I'm constantly thinking about content, I'm much less likely to actually experience whatever's going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
That was my concern with vlogging. I didn't want to, like, take David Dobrik, for example. Whenever he was vlogging every day, I know there's a controversy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, like, the vlogging, or Jake Paul or Logan Paul, when they're vlogging, constantly trying to up the stakes. I mean, when's the last time they went and did something and enjoyed it without a fucking camera in their face? You know what I mean? And I don't want that. So what was, I might once a week take a day and vlog some shit that I'm doing, but at the same time, in the middle of the video, maybe I'm going to the gym and I'll do like a tutorial about whatever exercise I'm doing that day. I'll pick one, and it'll be a more in-depth explanation of whatever, in the style that I edit, in the way that I speak. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just do a Q&A, and maybe I'll talk to the camera. Maybe, I don't know. There's a whole plethora of things. And I think going into a new platform like that, there's just a little bit of pressure to post the first video. But after that, I don't know if it really matters what I post. So I might have a lot of creative freedom there, and I might be able to talk openly just about whatever and do well. I might even just fucking do stuff like I'm talking to you, but to a camera. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be in my Mustang, and that'll be the entire YouTube channel. I'm not sure.
That'd be kind of cool.
I've had thoughts about different things to pursue. I have a main account on Instagram, and I thought about, I don't utilize it really as a creative outlet right now. Obviously, my fitness account is, I don't post a lot on my main account on Instagram. It's more just obligatory.
I'm going to push back on you there, because that's what I disagree with about this whole Instagram thing. First off, I wanted to say, I feel like it's a little easier for me than it is for you, because you're right. To make a longer format YouTube thing about you being you, you'd have to venture a lot into your life. Mine's switched. So the short format stuff is me in my life. So I just take short little Instagram posts, a quick snippet of showing me do something in my life, right? Whereas the YouTube thing, it's like I'm suiting up for the job. I put on the leather jacket, which is my uniform. I come down into my office, and this is very technical, kind of, but a little bit of me in there. The Instagram thing, I don't get that, man. And I'm going to have to ask you, because everyone at school and all sorts of people, I feel like they post on there like obligatorily to update you about my life. Instagram, I feel like the whole point of it is to hop on there and show people you be a little bit of you. I'm giving you me. And it's weird. My Instagram is weird because I'm posting who I am and the natural raw form of that. Like, you watching this, you post yourself. I feel like maybe I'm missing something. Talk to me here. What am I missing here?
No, I agree. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't post a lot on my main Instagram, and I was looking and I was like, why the fuck am I even posting? Why do these people give a shit? Why do I? So my idea with it was, I obviously have an old Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
I am about to move to LA. I'm really liking videography right now. I want to experiment and dip my toes in with like photography a bit, but I'm not sure. But my idea was like, okay, I could create an Instagram account that is me and shows different things that I'm doing. And the two main themes would be me and my car in different locations. But there's an account on Instagram that I follow that's that like popped the idea into my head. They have an old Mustang, and this guy is going to different places, and it's him, his girlfriend, and this old Mustang. And like they'll photograph deserts, they'll photograph them on the beach, or the car driving down the road. They make little like short movies. I'm not exactly sure. I don't follow them very closely, but in my head, that's what it seemed like.
But it's structured, like it's branded. Like they don't just post to post. There's a theme. That's from.
And I think that would be very fun and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to just posting my personal life, I don't know if I want to do that all the time, but I think being a creative outlet with it would be good. That's not obligatory. It's something that it's showing a bit of me through the creativity and art style of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, like posting yourself, I did have a conversation with my girlfriend. We're playing this game where we dare each other to do things, and like we have to do the dare. If we say, "I heard you wouldn't,"
that'd be a freaking hilarious social media thing. But I could see if you want to keep that private. You did?
Okay. Yeah. I was posting, doing very, very well. Like, very well. Better than my fitness account. But again, I don't want my relationship to be something that I'm creating content like constantly, like, oh, hey, Chloe, anytime we do something cool, let me record it. You know what I mean? I don't want that either. But getting back to what I was saying, I did dare her to make an Instagram post that was actually her, because she always uses puns, which is her. But I was like, make it a bit more serious, and she did it. And I don't know. So I do agree. I do think the obligatory posting is bullshit. Like my main Instagram account, it's pretty bullshit. Like maybe at the time, whenever I was in high school, I was posting a bit. I did post videos of me in a pigeon mask on the beach, like throwing bread at the seagulls. Like that's me. You know what I mean? I was being weird as fuck. But like now, it doesn't feel so much like that anymore. I've been trying to a bit more. I've been posting like some of my TikTok videos about my car on there, which I wouldn't normally do. I didn't at first, but I was like, I don't give a shit what these people think. I like my car. I like this video that I made, and I posted it. And then also promoting my fitness account on there. Like that's something I genuinely do put effort and I have interest in. I think I'm going to do some sort of rebranding with the account about me, or at least some sort of theme or style that involves me and some of my interests. But we'll see moving forward. I think you're completely head on the nail. If I think Instagram's purpose in terms of relationships is showing a bit of yourself. I think the majority of people use it almost as a popularity contest and look how great my fake life is. So I do agree. I do think you should be real about it. And I found that being real is better in most cases. Do you know who Hybrid Calisthenics is?
Dude, I kind of stopped following a lot of fitness accounts because I was just kind of sick of the same. I don't actually know how to change what's on my like recommended page, but I guess
you might have to search hashtags. Just
anyway, the calisthenics thing. Sorry.
Yeah, Hybrid Calisthenics is a guy. His name's Hampton, and his entire account is him. I've never seen another account like it where he genuinely wants to help people. He starts every video with, "Hey friends." And one of his advice, like one of his videos was giving advice to people who wanted to get into creating videos. And he was like, it's not about how many followers you have. You're not trying to build a number. You're trying to build a community, right? So you want to be interacting with them. And the way that he talks to the people, it genuinely appears as him. He appears very genuine. He appears like he actually does care. He will promote things that don't help him, that, you know what I'm saying? Like other accounts, he'll show off other accounts that he thinks are useful, but the way he speaks feels very him. So I think he's doing it in the right way, in which he built a brand, but is also being very much himself. He'll make serious videos just talking to the camera. And you can tell in the comments, people appreciate that. He's got a very close-knit community that he interacts with a lot as himself, you know? I think you're using it the right way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to agree. Some people really get caught up in the social hierarchy and like that. And if that works for them, great.
It's just not a world I want to live in.
And I think they would be happy if they were themselves, you know? Even creating videos and stuff online is more me than doing math. And I'm very extra. And that alone has made me much happier. Me sprinkling a bit more of myself into the videos is making me happier. Me interacting with my followers on my stories and being honest, like I like Marvel a lot. I really fuck with Marvel. I don't know why. I'm 22 and superheroes are sick.
It's dope, man.
Like posting about that and just seeing everybody's favorite superhero was fun to me, you know? And sometimes you can't give 100% focus to it, but I really do think that you have the right idea there, being yourself, posting what you want to post. You're not really giving a shit. I'm not posting this because I think it looks cool. I'm posting it because I genuinely like it, or it's genuinely me.
For me, it made me kind of like, honestly, it made me a little sick to my stomach. The past couple times when I was looking on like Father's Day and Mother's Day and vacations, and
It's all bullshit.
They're posting Happy Father's Day and stuff, and I'm like, tell your dad Happy Father's Day. That's so I realized the things that people post, some people post like when they're on vacation and they're taking pictures. That's cool if you really want to do that. But for me, those are not the times I want to post. Those are not the times I want to share my life. I want to share my life when I have something I think is worth sharing. I have something that is a give and a take, right? I'm only going to post something if I feel like an audience might get something from it and that it is accurately representing me. If it entertains you, fucking great. If it makes you think, fucking great. If it makes you motivated to go to the gym, fucking great. I don't do it to fit it's hard because I like to see the followers go up, but only because I like the idea that more people out there are seeing what I'm saying and thinking, wow, I actually want to follow this. Because what I stand for is something I think everyone should incorporate in their lives. And I don't know, man. I just want people to be themselves and to figure out who they are by listening to other people and trying to learn about others, you know?
I agree. And I think if you don't do that, then you build a community that's not like around this persona that you've created that's not you. What happens is that you end up getting this almost social disconnect between this fake you and this real you. So an example of this, there's a fitness creator called Levi Mack. I don't follow him, but I know of him. And he had like 400,000 to 500,000 followers on TikTok. And it was like a lot of thirst traps. And he made a second account saying, yo, I messed up. Like, this is not the kind of stuff that I want to make. So I'm making the second account that's more me. And I think that's just a very good example of showing that sometimes the things that get you the most followers doesn't always make you the most happy if you're not actually being you. So I don't know. I think you're right. Like my Instagram, if you go look at my main Instagram, it's exactly what you described, the exact bullshit of just, and no shame, I'm admitting it. So that's why I was thinking about, okay, just deleting everything on there and make something that I want to make. genuinely.
Mhm.
And I think you could approach social media in that way, because ultimately I found that whenever you are vulnerable in a way, you appear more genuine. People are more likely to be receptive of what you're saying. You build closer relationships. But if you're not yourself and you're not genuinely yourself, people don't really give a shit about you, you know? Like, I could die tomorrow and people following my normal Instagram will never fucking think about it. They will not.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They will not know.
It's the same kids from high school that'll view your story every single day until the day you die. But if you reached out to go get a coffee, they'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you are.
Yeah. So I don't know. I agree. I think in a general reframing of what social media is and what it should be is.
I think that's the difference. Content creation. I think content creation and content creators or influencers should be providing something for their audience through their own creativity and through their own self, which you do. So you're and then I think the purpose for social media for people that aren't trying to be influencers should be them being their authentic self and posting the things they want others to know about them, not just a picture of them going peace. Like I don't get it. It's just
I think social media is still relatively a new thing.
Yeah.
In terms of humanity. So maybe it'll change over time. I'm not sure. I think in my life, I've learned to more and more to try and just be my genuine self in most circumstances, because at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck. I'm going to die alone either way. Like, not alone, but like, I mean, I'm going to die.
On that note, everybody, make sure you go freaking be yourself and be better. I hope you learned something from Andrew here, that we're all going to die alone and no one's going to care. What's that?
You're going to die either way. Nobody gives a shit. I could do the most embarrassing shit tomorrow that I feel like ruins me right now. And in 20 years, it'll be irrelevant. Obviously, when you throw the internet into the mix and you do something super shitty, like maybe there's a controversy that follows you for the rest of your life. But like in terms of being your genuine self and being honest about mistakes and owning up to them and showing bits of you that you actually like, it's going to go a long way. If you're introverted, I think being honest about being introverted and communicating with people and trying to just be honest about how you feel about things goes so much further. Being direct with people.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same for everybody. But if you,
remember, no one watches these anyway. So it's just pretty much you just talking to me.
I can say it. But like, if you've ever been to therapy,
mm-hmm.
A good thing that they talk to you about, at least sometimes, it depends on your own issues. Obviously, this is not for every single person out there, but being direct is a very important thing. Getting rid of that nuance about people guessing about who you are, being just upfront with someone, goes a lot further. Mm-hmm. It's like I know this is a slightly different circumstance. You have two choices to make, you know? You don't know what choice to make there. And it's the uncertainty and the guessing about the possible outcomes. That's what fucking buries you. Once you make the decision, okay, then you can construct a game plan. It's the same thing when talking to someone and building a relationship. You can lie to them about who you are and how you're feeling and keep them guessing, but you're always going to be guessing, oh, what if they find out? Or I wish I could be myself, or this isn't truly me. If you're just honest and open about who you are with people, there's no more guessing. This is who I am. If you don't like it, fuck you. If you do like it, sick. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like nuance and uncertainty and not being your genuine self and all this lying and hesitation is really what kills people. I really do think that.
That's it, man. That's honestly, I want to end it right there where you just said that, because that's it. It's you be yourself, but be better. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be yourself. That's the first part. That's a half of the thing that people overlook is the be yourself part. Like, it's hard to figure out who that person is, and we got to figure that out. But that's where the be better part comes in. The way to be better is listening and learning to other people and figuring out who you are, who you connect to, who you surround yourself with. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love meeting with my boy Andrew. Every time he comes on, it's a blast for me. So make sure you drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're not new and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel anyway. And class dismissed.